one night I remember, we weren't living here at the time. I remember waking up, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just started praying, which I typically do when I can't sleep, and it usually puts me back to sleep pretty quickly. But I remember God saying to me, Brady, I have something better for you to do. And so I thought, well, if it's better than what I'm doing, then I really ought to explore what that is. And there were some other things going on at the time of my life, other people speaking into my life. And the pastor at the Baptist church said, I really feel like you're going to be the youth pastor of this church someday. I didn't even know you could do that and make money doing it. And so I went and told my boss at American Airlines. I said, hey, I'm going to be gone. And it was probably about a year later that the calling came to be real, and I resigned from American Airlines after 10 years there and left all that behind and started this ministry at the Baptist church here in town. The experience that I had at that church, learning to love and learning to be loved, I got to travel more than I ever got to travel when I worked at the airport. Several mission trips out of the country. God broke my heart for people of other cultures, and just serving and loving and giving became a part of my life, and that has formed and shaped me into the person that I am today. I had an opportunity to look into going to work at the Vineyard Church, just a completely different experience than what I was used to at the Baptist Church. It challenged me, it grew me in a lot of ways. It taught me things about leadership and about structure and things that I hadn't learned before. Through kind of a challenge there of just growing and learning, I remember sitting in a church service it was probably the 23rd of March, and the pastor was preaching, and it was a gifted teacher, and he was saying, have you ever felt like your calling is here, but your current reality is here? And he was speaking about the story of Abraham before he became Abraham, and Abraham was wondering, how am I going to have heirs to this promise that you've made, God? I don't even have a son. And so Abraham was wondering, how is this going to happen? And I was sitting there and I looked over at my wife and I said, this is exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like I've got a calling, but my reality is here. So I need to change my current reality in order to reach the calling I feel like God has on my life, which is probably the reason why the name of our church is The Calling Community Church. God began to surround me with a gifted group of people who have all of the tools to do things in church life that I don't necessarily know how to do. I'm definitely a people person, not a paper person, so I needed some people to kind of like do the paperwork for me and make it all happen. And in 84 days, God birthed this church, and we really felt like we were supposed to start on Father's Day. There was something about the Father's heart, and I really it's a very, very personal thing to me, because I didn't grow up with my father, and I felt like people need to know the compassionate love of the Father. And so our mission statement has that phrase in there, that we want to create space for people to experience the compassionate love of the Father and to discover the calling He has for their life, because I believe everybody has a calling on their life. We kind of had a goal: if 50 people come, then we'll be excited. And the room, there was almost 100 people there. And that really was an encouragement to us. We felt like, okay, God's in this, and we got some momentum here. And so we started to notice right away that we were probably going to have to figure out a way to transition from the space we're in. We started at the YMCA in Platte City, but now we've actually transitioned to the Platte County High School Performing Arts Auditorium, which has really just expanded our opportunities to grow and serve the community that we're in. As I look back, there's just no way we could have pulled this off without obviously God's hand in it. And I'm not sure where it's going to go. I don't know. We have 650 seats to fill, and we may not fill all of them, and that's fine. But we just feel like there's room for people to come, there's room to grow, and there's an opportunity for people to discover the calling God has on their life. So we're excited about that.